today. We heard from the South African Police Services releasing the latest crime statistics, and all sexual offences recorded a 13.7% increase. The first 3 months of 2022, 10,818 people were raped in South Africa. These are alarming statistics that have been released by the police minister. We get you more on this in terms of reaction. We're joined by Lisa Vetten. She's a researcher on sexual offences. Lisa, thank you very much for availing yourself this afternoon. So according to the police, January, February and March of 2022 was especially brutal for women and children of this country. Some very disturbing figures coming out of the statistics released again this year. Is this a conversation that we just keep having, rather, with no solutions in sight?
I think we're attempting a lot of solutions, but I'm not sure they're necessarily the right solutions. Because we keep talking about there is a rise in statistics, but we've yet to get to the position where we say, or can even explain, why does this rise exist? And that's the missing question, is why are we not asking that question, say, what is going on? I mean, there are people who are making suggestions that possibly this is we're seeing some of the consequences, for example, of the lockdown, of the much harsher economic conditions, how that, as a general statement, tends to aggravate crime. But I mean, these are all speculations. Nobody can actually there is no good answer at this point as to why are we seeing these increases. Are they perhaps just as a result of more women and children coming forward to report? I suspect that there's much more to it than that.
We do now know, though, that GBVF desks have been established in over 1,000 police stations, over 9,000 police officers being trained to deal with this matter. Something that should go some way, I guess. Do you perceive?
To be honest, the police have had specialized or supposed to have had victim-friendly rooms in place since at least the early 2000s. So having special police officers in place is not necessarily a new or innovative intervention by the police at all. And I suppose the question you have to ask is, why did the previous victim-friendly rooms then fall apart? Why were they not performing the function they should have? But I think the question we also need to be asking, in addition to why are the statistics increasing, is what is happening to the rapes that are being reported? How many are resulting in arrests? How many are going to court? And how many are resulting in convictions? Because at the end of the day, people don't report crime just to contribute to the police's statistics. They actually are seeking justice. So I think we must start challenging the police and the courts to give us an integrated picture of the criminal justice system as a whole. What is happening to these reports? Because if they want to suggest to us that reporting and convictions are a form of deterrence, then we need to see the other statistics to show us whether or not that is in fact actually happening, and whether or not it is actually worth victims' time to go and report to the police.
In just 3 months, you had 10,818 people being raped in South Africa. Interestingly, the statistics that were also revealed by the police say liquor was involved in 1,290 of these rapes. While I appreciate that you are not the police, how should we understand this, and why does it even matter?
Yeah, and they're also not telling us how liquor was involved. One does see a certain number of rapes committed. So when women are walking home from having been out with their friends enjoying themselves, as they are fully entitled to do. That hardly makes it their fault. So I think we need to understand what they mean when they say liquor is involved and in what context that is. I mean, I think there are also other conversations we could have, although this relates more to domestic violence, which is about how alcohol may perhaps aggravate violence, and how regulating its availability and making sure it's not freely available everywhere can play a role in reducing some crimes.
South Africa does have a DNA backlog with the DNA bill still also not in effect. Do you perceive that this is something that makes people, not even stop when this issue is concerned? It's not enough of a deterrent.
Certainly. I mean, there are so many unanswered questions about what is actually going on with rape, what is fueling this increase, how effectively is the criminal justice system combating it. And I think that the point about the DNA database is that it also allows us to start identifying possibly that group of offenders who are responsible for more than one rape, who are perhaps serial rapists, and clearly just removing that group from society will already reduce the number of rapes that we have. So that is important. But once again, I think what's also going to have to happen is is a challenge to police to also start releasing statistics in future in relation to rape that tell us how many are being connected to serial offenders, and how many, to what extent is their DNA database being able to analyze all these samples coming in to be able to connect these crimes.
Lisa Vetten is a researcher on sexual offences. Thank you very much for availing yourself